I come from the national platform to the community platform. And this is an issue about the community called the Abagusii community, where I come from. The only symbol from national government downwards for the Abagusii community is Shabana. Politics aside, sports in this country rotates around tribes. All the big clubs are tribal clubs in football. Few are corporates like Kenya Breweries, Madara FC, and others. So our club went to play at Lindsay Sports Complex, a military installation. Everybody was searched. Very few of our supporters were there. The majority were military officers. An eruption erupted, and quite a few of the chairs were damaged. The sports tribunal, they have announced that Shabana was guilty. 5 questions come to for one. How did they know that the fans who spoiled the chairs was Shabana and they were not KDF? 2, is it because the stadium is owned by KDF, therefore Shabana must be punished? Is Shabana having the same equal status as a football team similar to Ulinzi Stars? That is the question we are asking. 4, was there a fair hearing of the people who have been banned not to go and watch football? Lastly, the notice of banning came out yesterday. Over 30,000 fans had been mobilized because this is the first match Shabana is going to play in Kisii Stadium. Who is going to deal with the security risk of removing the over 30,000 fans who have already assembled in Kisii? 2, who is going to refund their expenses? Is the notice reasonable? Agreed with that, we have gone as a community to the sports tribunal. We have filed to challenge that decision. We have gone to seek stay of that decision so that the matches proceed as they had been scheduled. We know very well the FKF elections are on the way. This is politics. And we have urged all the leadership of the Abagusii community, starting from the governors, starting for the members of parliament, starting from the senators, starting from the cabinet secretary, to petition the CS for sports, one Kipchumba Murkomen, that this is killing the talent and spirit of the sports of young boys and women who are developing football in this country. His Excellency the President should come in, because that is destroying the economy of the Abagusii community. Very many hotels had booked reservations. Very many mothers from the Abagusii community were going to sell their bananas, going to sell their products to enable their children go to school. So we have gone to court, the tribunal, and we expect that by tomorrow a decision will come that will help the sports to proceed as it is. Vile nilivyosema pengine
the recent happenings about our football club, Shabana FC, which is predominantly from the Abagusii region. This club has been in relegation or relegated state for so long up until just the other day when it was put into the national platform to compete in the National League. Now, on over the weekend, there was a game played at the Lindsay complex, and it went on. The game went on well up till the last minutes of the game, extra time actually, when out of poor officiating, there was a draw because Shabana was leading 2-1. Then, because of extension of the time, on account of poor officiating, there was a draw where the teams went on a 2-2 draw. After which, Pandemonium broke within the complex. Remember, this is a complex which is which belongs to the Defense Forces. There are officers there, and only a handful of supporters were there to support the Shabana FC. Now, arising out of the pandemonium that happened after the match, because the match went full time, the competitions committee of the FKF has proceeded to decree that Shabana FC will now play 5 games without any of the supporters being in attendance. The first of which is happening on Saturday. They are playing Posta Rangers in Kisii in an empty stadium. We are alarmed by this. Why? Number one, the committee did not have powers under the law to decree on that kind of issue because the game had played up till the last minute. There was no stoppage of the game because of either acts of hooliganism or anything in accordance to the act that governs football in this country. But over and above, even when they proceeded to say that 5 games are going to be conducted without any supporter or any of the fans being in attendance, the act under which, that is the Football Federation rules, does not give the committee powers to decree and order the way it did. The only thing that can happen is either get fined or relegate that team or, do as in accordance to what the act states, the regulation states. But in this instance, there was that pronouncement, which is in letter, that has been made by the committee. Now, as a team of lawyers, we have proceeded to engage. We are going before the Sports Tribunal to challenge that decision because it was not available for the committee to come up with that kind of resolution. Over and above, what is the implication of all this? The implication of this play without any supporters or any fans within the stadium means that there is a revenue loss on the team, because every time you have a home, playing at home, the entry fee that normally gets, paid by the supporters goes towards enhancing the kitty of the team. So 5 games is one too many. Number 2, remember, this team has been in relegation for almost 2 decades. This is the time that people are pushing and they are really assimilating themselves to the team because this is one of the leisure activities. The only binding force within Kisii, which has made the team to be, is this soccer now. Because politics ended in watu wengi, remember 40 people? That is when the Gusii community was one item. Because of politics and the mutation of politics, that is now shoved off. What we have now is football. This soccer, if we don't nurture it, because when it was brought back, people have really warmed up to it. Even as a leisure activity, that is what they engage on with. Now, I beseech on the leadership, the Gusii leadership, that is the Nyamira County leadership, the governor, the senator, women rep and MPs, and also the Kisii County, the governor, and all those MPs from Kisii County, please throw in a word that the FKF is not doing correct, because it is going to diminish the spirit of unity within the Gusii community, number one. Number two, it is going to diminish the income that is going to be generated from the denial of resources or income for 5 games. And this is not right. It is not provided for under the rules and the regulations that govern the football play in this country. So please, we have come as advocates to ventilate the issues of Shabana because they are voiceless until they are heard and heard clearly when we have a backup of the law defending them, to see to it that they play in the soccer pitches is okay, and we don't have to get someone making unilateral decisions as they have, so that we can enhance football in this country and a region, because that is the only thing from Gusii land that is the only, apart from sports, the sports of Ellen Obiri and the like, who have made us to be on the platform here. Now we are talking. Remember, the deputy president of this country went to the mountain.
The implication of denying supporters to go to the stadium are majorly two. One, what will they do when they are not allowed to use their leisure in support of the team they ascribe to? This is an issue that can be linked to national security and insecurity, because the supporters, instead of using their leisure to watch game, to support the team of their choice, that time can be used to do other things which are not beneficial to the country. Second, the players utilize their talents to promote their gift and professionalism. If the supporters cannot be allowed in the field to witness and to support the talent, how can they support? How can they vouch? How can they spot the talents of individuals playing and help them in getting a better position, better terms? So in other words, the decision curtails the professional progress of the players. No one can see them play, no one can see them score, no one can cheer them up to ignite their professionalism and the football spirit in them. In other words, you're being condemned to go to doom because no one wants to see you. So it is unfair, it is unprocedural, and it is very prejudicial to the talents of the young Kenyans that we are trying to support.